And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We love to bring on our expert contributors, over 50 different categories, expert contributors in categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the program daily to help you understand your buying decisions, help you avoid commission-based advice, and make you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number. At some point, you may need it, 813-750-0550. You can call or text that line, 813-750-0550. Call or text the hotline, also consumerqb.com. And by the way, check out our YouTube channel, 1,200 plus videos on YouTube. Brandon Rhymes Realty is the YouTube channel as well. And we would love to connect with you online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter also. And we got a great lineup for you today as well. We're going to round out the show here at the end with Fred DeFelice. He's waterscience.us. Everything you want to know about water quality and the proper ways to add it onto your home, Fred can help you with that. Greg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, in studio as well. And we also have Justin Morris, Director of Residential Sales, SEM Power, our solar expert contributor here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I want to jump into our Motivational Minute, kind of a new series we're doing. This is on negotiation strategy as well. So if you're negotiating with someone, here's one of the key strategies that you want to employ. It's called a label, okay? What you want to do is you want to use labels, and basically it's pretty simple. You want to try to validate that person's response and that person's point of view, right? So you're going to say, hey, it seems like this, or it sounds like that, or maybe it looks like this type of scenario. It looks like you're upset. It looks like you're in this position. And that way, it sounds like trust is something that's important to you. That's another one. That's a great opportunity. So labels serve to validate your counterpart's emotion by verbally acknowledging it, right? So that's what we're looking for as human beings. We're looking for respect. We're looking to be valued, and labels can help you do that. So when you fill in the blank, you pause. That's one of the things we do a lot of times in business and in life is we go too fast. You got to slow it down. And then you want to also just utilize those labels. And there's something really unique that happens in the mind as well. It switches from the reptilian portion of the mind that's just constantly reacting over to the more rational side that's going to make that person kind of own their feelings in a sense. It's going to make them own that position, right? So use labels in your negotiations and your everyday conversations you have, and you'll see it can give you some really strong power, some ninja power, so to speak. Labels, that's your negotiation tips from the Consumer Quarterback Show here on the program as well. And shout out to Chris Voss on that as well. Never Split the Difference. There's a great book to check out if you want more detail on that. All right, let's make our introductions. In studio, we got Greg Bowman, the AC guy. Welcome in.
Thanks, Brandon. It's great to be here.
Yeah, man.
It's been a little bit. I think I missed the last month or so it's been crazy time for us, but it's good to be back here.
Yeah, and I was out for a week or two there with had a vacation, then I had a trip over to Dallas. So awesome. And so Greg Bowman's going to be on with us here. Let's go to the phones. We got Justin Morris, Director of Residential Sales, SEM Power, sempower.com. Welcome back to the program.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. So what's new in your world, my friend?
Man, just staying busy, trying to keep my head above water.
Yeah, staying busy. So you do residential and commercial over there, right?
Yep, absolutely. I've got a couple big commercial projects right now, working with this company. They're kind of a new startup called NASA. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah. They're doing something about like space or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, right? Everybody's exploring space nowadays, it seems.
Yeah.
All the billionaires, all the cool billionaires, I guess. They get to fly their rockets up there and spend a lot of money, it seems.
Yeah. But no, it's, just staying busy. Obviously, it's that time of year. Everyone's power bills are through the roof right now, so everyone's scrambling to try and figure out what they can do to, bring that back under control. And the short answer is, go solar.
Yeah, absolutely. Go solar. And when you look at solar, what are some of the benefits? We've talked about tax benefits on previous programs. The future of the energy bill. We know that that's going to continue to rise with the cost from some of the energy companies. What are some of the main benefits that people see with solar?
Absolutely. The biggest thing to keep in mind is obviously all of us that are homeowners realize that there's a benefit to owning a home versus renting it, right? It's not to say that home ownership is cheap. It's not necessarily going to be, this crazy inexpensive venture. But the simple fact is owning a home versus renting, you're paying yourself. And it's no different with solar. It's owning your power versus renting it. It's not saying, we're not out here saying that, some magical power fairy is going to come and now you're just never going to have to pay for power again. No, what we're saying is, by putting photovoltaic cells on your roof, on your property, not only are you investing in your property, but, you're getting the power company's hands out of your pockets. You have control over your power, because once you put in a photovoltaic system, you're generating your own power.
Right. Yeah, and it's something that I've seen personally. In my home, I had solar panels on my home for a couple years now, and I can see, and they make apps also where you can hook up to the app and you can actually see how much you produce, how much you've imported on that particular day.
Oh, it's fantastic! Like the technology is so out of this world now, and the fact that that's attainable for everyday folks is just, it's amazing. Again, this is something that. If you had a solar system 20 years ago, you were a 1%er, because it just wasn't very affordable, but the simple fact now is, you can get a solar system and it's not going to cost you anything out of pocket. You're simply just going to start paying on your panels, and the power that they generate is 100% free. And like you mentioned, it's going to give you these things like they have all these apps now where now, I can look right on my phone and tell, it'll tell me exactly how much power my system is producing, exactly how much power I'm consuming, where I'm consuming that power in my house. So, this should be a twofold approach when you're looking at solar. It's not just about, James and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. It's not just about, I have solar now I can crank the AC down to 64.
Right.
No, it's a two-tiered approach. What can you do to control your power consumption? And then, where solar comes into play is controlling your power generation. And so if you can do those two things and meet in the middle, and it's a happy thing for the environment and a happy thing for your pocketbook.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Justin Morris here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's the Director of Residential Sales, SEMpower.com. And Justin, one of the cool things that's happening, too, now is technology is getting better and better. It's so funny when you look at buying, like, a new laptop or something. It's like, wow, I remember the last laptop I bought 7 years ago, it was X amount of dollars and, et cetera. And so you look at technology, how it's constantly getting better, it's improving, and it seems like it's becoming more affordable. The battery side of technology as well. So I think, isn't there a play where you can have this solar, you can pump it into a battery storage system and really eliminate the need for those backup generators that are kind of costly, and of course they use fossil fuels.
Yeah, absolutely. And the price of batteries, you're talking about technology coming along and helping as it pertains to price. The price of batteries has come down tremendously, especially in the last 6 months. And like you mentioned, backup power is a fantastic thing to have. Obviously, we're in the storm corridor here. And generators, you got to have a fuel source. They're loud. There's a lot of maintenance associated with those. And you kind of eliminate all of that when you go with a backup battery system. It plays off of your existing solar system. So you're going to use the sun to just recharge your batteries. So you only need to have enough backup really to get you through those nighttime hours. The sun always shines brightest after a storm. And so, you're just recapitalizing that energy and completing the cycle when the grid is down. Right.
Yeah, I love the idea of solar. I feel like, and some of the things that people had misunderstandings about as well is that, you hear, Florida's the sunshine state. It should be leading the nation in solar. And I know there's been some recent changes that are kind of helping that along. But I think for a while, like certain states, like I believe it was New Jersey, for example, would actually be leading in terms of the installations, I guess, is the way maybe it's monitored.
Yep.
But can you speak to that point, the difference in states and the different, political climate?
Yeah, it's wild. Florida, here we are, the Sunshine State. We have less than 2% of people that have solar in our state.
Wow.
And, there's a couple different reasons for that. One, the power companies definitely throw in some obstacles that to try and scare people away from it. But, the other thing, too, is that, we are very fortunate in our state in that our power rates are, we're in the lower half as far as states are concerned for cost of power. I mean, our power rates, the average in the state is 12 to 15 cents. Whereas when you get up into areas of New England, California, things like that, you're talking about power rates that are, upwards of 25 cents a kilowatt.
Wow.
So, of course, the draw for them is huge because, the financial benefit is much larger. But that being said, the power situation here, yes, we're on the low end of the spectrum. I wouldn't say the low end of the spectrum. We're more like middle of the road. But guess what? If you think that's going anywhere but up, then you might want to rethink that position because,
exactly.
Texas, look at Texas, and what happened over the past couple of years. Their power grid has been exposed, and the cost of power in Texas has almost doubled in the past 2 years.
Yeah, they have those issues with hail and the snow flurries and the snow.
Yep, absolutely. And they're no different than the issues that we have here. When we do have one of these storms come through and it takes out a lot of these power lines, that all these power lines, let's be honest, they should have been buried years ago.
Yep.
Given where we are. But we've talked about this before. These power companies, these accountant types starts getting involved and it becomes all about the bottom line, not about the service that they're delivering, but about the profit that they're making.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so now it costs a lot of money to bury those lines. So, we'll hold off on doing that. And then something happens, a storm happens and takes out all these power lines. Well, then who has to foot that bill? The answer is they're not going to eat into their profits for that. They're going to raise the prices. And you're seeing that across the board with power companies across the state. All the major power companies have rate increases well over 10% that are going in place over the next couple of years. And so our prices are heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, absolutely. SEMpower.com, SEMpower.com. Justin Morris, Director of Residential Sales here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And touching on that topic, it's the more I hear about corporations and the big companies and the greed that you see at many of these organizations, I think that's really part of the downfall, at least in part, and hopefully not a permanent thing, but with the country right now. You look at some of these big companies, you look at the companies are for the stakeholder. They're looking to increase the stakeholders' profits at the expense, in many cases, of the citizen, of the small business, of the people that are just trying to get by, the working class. That middle to low income American that's just trying to get by. But yet you got these huge corporations getting special deals from lobbyists and kickbacks from politicians. Anyways, I'll get off that bunny trail there. But it's just really frustrating when you look at how some of these big companies are really having so much influence and power today.
Right, and the fact that they are able to, again, here we are, 30 years, almost 30 years removed from, what was it in the 90s? It was it Andrew, I think, that came through and really did a number.
Miami-Dade.
Really did a number on a lot of things, but mainly a lot of the infrastructure, right? Mainly the power infrastructure.
Yeah.
And we knew back then that everyone knew that the power lines needed to be addressed. That's something that needs to be addressed. Let's face it, we have a major named storm hit our state every couple of years.
Yep.
And every time it's the same story. It's knocking down these power lines. All we do is just put them right back up.
Yep.
And we know, and if you look, there's several places in Florida that have mandated that the power lines be buried, and they have much less problems as it pertains to the electrical grid. So we know that this is the solution. But because they have the lobbying power, these power companies are able to get away with not doing what needs to be done, which is the best thing for you and I, the end consumer.
Yeah, and safety and also property values, et cetera. Justin, we're running out of time here, my friend. Final thoughts and best place to contact you.
Man, so final thoughts is there's no better time to do it than right now. Listen, the bills are through the roof right now. It's the middle of summer. It's hot. You're running that AC. Listen, take control of your power. Do it now. You can go online, sempower.com, get a free estimate. I'm 100% no pressure. I want to give you information. If I can help you go solar, even if it means going with another company, let me do that for you. I have been in this business for a long time. I know a lot about panels and all the different ins and outs of the business. I'm more than happy to help you out, even if it means you don't do business with our company. Just going solar is going to help all of us in the long run.
Absolutely. Hey, good stuff, Justin. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, as always.
Take care. Have a wonderful day. All right, coming up, Greg Bowman, AC guy of Tampa Bay, acguyoftampa.com. Greg's going to talk more about the AC side of things here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, we do have a feel-good story of the day here coming up as well. Stay with us for that and visit consumerqb.com. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right to the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals. We like to feature our real estate listings live on air here on the show to help you get more exposure and profit more and sell faster. We got 207 East Lutz Lake Fern Road. This is a great opportunity to build. Attention builders, developers, or even just folks that are looking for a nice estate-style home. You got lots of land here that you can build on. Oversized acre lot available, zoned residential, oversized corner lot. No HOA or CDD, no homeowners association or CDD. You got minutes from Tampa Premium Outlets, Wiregrass Mall, located in top-rated school district. Build your dream home and guest house. 207 East Lutz Lake Fern Road in Lutz, Florida. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, we've got a property at 117 14th Street in Bel Air. This is a beautiful home, double lot pool home. You've got a gourmet kitchen, a wine cellar, just a beautiful opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. You've got covered lanai, minutes from the beach. You literally walk to the end of the street, and you're on the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of the Gulf of Mexico right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's give a quick shout out to Victor and his team over at Chad Irrigation. Victor with Chad Irrigation, he can hook you up to a lake or a pond, any kind of body of water. Plus, you can also drill a well and get you hooked up there so you can do your irrigation on your residential properties, commercial properties, and get that grass watered. And let Victor know the real estate quarterback sent you. Chad Irrigation, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Greg Bowman here in studio, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. And Greg, there are some crossovers we were just mentioning about with the solar company, Justin and his team over at SEM Power that we were just kind of talking about between the breaks there.
Yeah, definitely. I think solar is a great way to go. And Justin had mentioned that the cost of that's coming down, which that's a great thing for Florida. If we can get more people on solar. He mentioned 2%. That's pretty sad that 2% of systems out there are running on solar. We got a long way to go in the Sunshine State.
That's right.
But I mean, in the air conditioning world, going more energy efficient obviously helps reduce the need for that solar. So the more energy efficient air conditioner you can afford to put in, the lower your power draw, so the smaller solar system you would need to be able to operate that system. Unfortunately, in the air conditioning world, especially this summer, we haven't been seeing prices going lower. We've been seeing them go the exact opposite. We've actually gotten the 6th price increase handed to us since January 1.
Wow. And what parts is that?
It's in replacement air conditioning, basically. We're also struggling to get parts. There's been a chip shortage worldwide, so circuit boards that are used in a lot of air conditioners are on back order. We called for one yesterday. We're told the end of October.
Wow.
When we have a customer with no air conditioning.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't tell somebody, oh, sorry, you have to wait maybe 2 months without air conditioning in Florida till we can fix that.
Wow.
So we have to find other solutions. So it's been a very challenging summer, probably one of the hardest I remember in 35 years in this industry of trying to make things work. But the price increases we've seen are being driven by, just again, worldwide. It's amazing how globally connected we are and what impacts around the world with COVID has done to all that stuff. There's I heard that cold rolled steel, which is used in manufacturing air conditioning, is up 600 or 700%.
Wow.
So that's part of what's driving prices. Copper prices are way up, and the copper is used very heavily as well. So it's been a challenging year to see prices escalate that much and to continue to be able to still try and keep it affordable for somebody, to have an air conditioning system. It's getting challenging.
Man, it really is. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's 600% on cold rolled steel.
Yeah.
Copper is up. The microchips, that's a big part of the business, the international business game as well, for smartphones and computer processors.
Yeah, and you earlier when you were talking with Justin, you talked about the big corporations and how it's all about profits. I mean, that is a global cultural problem too. Like air conditioning, when I started in this industry, we used to take out air conditioners that were 25, 30, 35 years old. I took out one time that was 42 years old.
Wow.
And air conditioning we put in today, we're just crossing our fingers and hoping it lasts 10 to 12 years.
Wow.
But again, that's a profit-driven thing.
Yes.
It's all about making it as cheap as possible and selling it at the highest price possible, so they don't last like they did to. And that's a cultural thing. Like coming out of World War II, in our country, there was this American pride of building things well, American made, and we built things like tanks.
Right.
Literally, we built tanks, but also we built machines like tanks. And we've lost that. Today it's it's all about putting it together. Most of the parts that are in units today are not American made. We might call them American made because we put them together in America, but the internal parts are from overseas, and the reliability and the lifespan that we used to see, we don't see it anymore.
Assembled in America, basic stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Over the break we went took the kids down to check out Thomas Edison's home, Winter Estates, Thomas Edison and Ford, and just how they switched from producing the Model Ts or whatever to hey, we got to help out with the war here. I mean, that was that back in the day. Some pretty cool stuff to see, and just the inventor. I forgot how many patents he holds. I think it was like 1,000 or 1,100 patents that he has. It's pretty neat. But what an amazing American human being, Ford and Edison. So we'll be right back. More with Greg Bowman, AC guy of Tampa Bay, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ACGuyofTampa.com. ACGuyofTampa.com. We'll be right back after the short break.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace. 132nd Avenue in Largo. This is a great opportunity for a builder developer that we have here in Tampa Bay. It's over an acre of land right here in Tampa Bay, 132nd Avenue in Largo. What you've got is 2 income properties on this acre of land as well. 1,200 square foot property, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. 700 square foot property, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. So you got income built in, income potential while you're getting your zoning, while you're getting everything in place if you wanted to build and develop that land. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. It's priced over $500,000, and you can check it out at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And a quick shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Is the Bilmar Beach Resort over on Treasure Island. Say hello to Clyde Smith. He's the general manager. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take him up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They've got 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant, and just a beautiful beach that you can enjoy right here in Tampa Bay for a local staycation if you're in the local listening audience. And, of course, if you're out of state, check them out online. Bilmar Beach Resort. Book directly, and you'll save money there as well. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, Greg Bowman in the house, AC guy of Tampa Bay, acguyoftampa.com. And, so we left off kind of talking about Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. I mean, what a interesting class of men back then. You know, it was really cool. I mean, I took my time, and I literally read through the thing. I remember when I went in school, I was just kind of breeze through. I was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. He created a truck, he created a car. I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, whatever it was. But when you go back in your 40s and you kind of read a little bit deeper, you really appreciate for that time period and just the inventor. And he started growing all types of flowers and plants, trying to figure out the best rubber, because that was another issue with the war that we were looking at. And so what a cool any comment on Thomas Edison and Henry Ford and just that inventorship?
I don't know if I have any comment specifically on them, but yeah, definitely looking back, it was quite different of a time period and quite a bit of tenacity that it took from those men, I believe, and to be able to do what they did and create what they did. Certainly, I mean, at the rate technology is changing today, we don't see, those specific great inventors per se, I guess, in my impression. Like, okay, we might see, one here and there that comes out with some great technological thing, but not men like Edison who have 1,000 inventions or whatever. So yeah, it definitely is fascinating to look back at that.
Yeah, and it was like a different time. I mean, to figure out how to create a filament in a light bulb to actually light up a city, and it just seemed like they had less to work with than now. With all the advantages.
More, yes.
I think that's the point you're making. Yeah. Like now we'll tweak a certain thing and make a different website or a different widget, but it was really based on what was already made. Right. I don't know, just a different, I think it's more respect needs to go back to those types of guys, that are doing that type of thing.
Yeah, I think we could learn something from it too. I think looking back and, just if we could get back to building things with a little more pride in them and making them a little better. I mean, I know there's an economic side of that, and that's what has caused the problem. It all probably is traceable to money. It's all about, we got to make more dollars, so we got to make things cheaper, but, our culture in general is just suffering from it.
It goes back to it. Speaking of that too, there was a site I was just talking about. Secondvote.com is a site that I came across that's pretty cool. I heard about it on one of my podcasts. More of a patriotic type podcast I listen to, and secondvote.com. But what that company does, I think it's a husband and wife that own this company, started it years ago. But they basically like rank, kind of like going to your point as far as American made and just that has kind of similar values as you. So they kind of rank these different companies in terms of, hey, this is where they're at on the scale of left to right. Here's what they support, here's what they don't. Secondvote.com, anyways, just kind of came to mind. But pretty cool site to check out at some point. 2ndvote.com. But we're here with Greg Bowman, AC guy of Tampa Bay, in studio, and for all things air conditioning, we want you to reach out to him. Local company. We greatly appreciate everybody that calls into the hotline and supports our local area expert contributors. That's how we have put this show on for about 9 years now. So it's really important for you to reach out and support the local economy here. Greg Bowman, AC guy of Tampa Bay. And when you look at that, let's give out the number here, 813-750-0550. Call or text. If you want to text AC or just save that number in your hotline or in your phone. That's our hotline, because at some point you may need it. 813-750-0550. And Greg, we've talked about different levels of contractors, realtor. I mean, any business, you got good, better, and best. Tell us why you're at that upper echelon. You're helping people. You're forthright with them, and not one complaint from any of our show partners really over the last 9 years.
Yeah, we work real hard at that. I'm a big believer in that you treat each person like they're part of our family. So, I'm not going to do anything to a customer that I wouldn't do to my own mother.
Right.
So we're very conscious of that and trying to deliver the best value we can. Now, sometimes complaints do come down to one thing, and that's money. Because to provide a high value cannot be done cheap, So we are not the lowest contractor in the area. I will admit that. I will tell anybody that, right up front in our conversation. But I learned a long time ago, I'd rather apologize right now for my price than apologize for 20 years for the quality of what I did for you. So,
or they won't last 20 years, right?
Well,
those people that are underpricing jobs.
That's true. Like the budget's based, air conditioners, if you can get 6 to 8 years out of a budget-based air conditioner today, that's what you're probably going to get. That's why the average lifespan's 10 to 12. You put a better quality product in, you might get 15 years out of it, but put a cheap product in, you might get 6 to 8. It definitely is very important to us to take care of our customers. A part of our process and what we do too is we do offer basically 2 levels of service. We offer our silver service and our gold service. But our gold service is how I would do it in my home. When we do an installation or a service, a repair or anything like that, we're taking the steps to do things like it was done 40, 50 years ago. A lot of the air conditioners that are built today, like we talked about earlier, they've removed parts from them, made them cheaper, done it as most economically as possible. When we do a gold install, we're putting that stuff back in the machine. We're putting the hard start kits back in that were taken out, the surge protectors that were taken out. Those were standard, 30 years ago, and no machine today has them. But those will expand the life of your machine. So why don't we have them there? Because they're trying to make stuff cheaper and make more money.
Back to the corporation.
Exactly. Right. So by putting them back in, we're giving it a better chance of getting 15 years out of it instead of 6 or 8. So, but then in order to stay competitive with our market, we've kind of got to offer the silver option, which is basically the way everybody else does it. Now we still take extra steps, in what we're doing to make sure it still lives up to our name, because our name's on it, and I don't want it to reflect badly on us. So.
Well, that's a good way to put it. You have a choice. You can go with the gold. You can go with that's the way, I would do it. It's the way it was done back in the day, and it's going to be a little bit more bulletproof, et cetera. But then you do have that affordable option, and if people have budgetary constraints and things of that nature, so you're kind of catering to everyone.
Correct. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us, Greg. Greg Bowman, AC guy of Tampa.com. Best contact place for you, AC guy of Tampa.com.
That's our website. Yep, they get all our contact information there. And actually, just throw a quick thing in. We're going to have online booking coming on our website just in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Going live, so actually be able to log on to the website and book an appointment without ever having to make a phone call.
Nice. And if you do happen to call their office, very friendly. Every time I talk to folks over there, just very friendly and just cheerful and just it's nice to hear that.
Yeah, cool. Glad to hear it.
Awesome, man. Good stuff. All right, Greg Bowman, AC Guy of Tampa Bay, acguyoftampa.com. And we've got coming up Fred DeFelice, our water quality expert. You've heard Fred on the program, waterscience.us. We're going to find out some interesting things about water and water quality, how you can improve your life through the right way to have water, in your home. So Fred's coming up. Plus our feel-good story of the day, bike ride from Tampa Bay to Nashville supports music industry. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We like to feature our real estate listings live on air to help our sellers profit more and sell faster. I've got about 15 vacant parcels of land, actually 17 now, I believe, properties available if you're looking to build and develop and build on any type of land, commercial, residential properties. But I'll just kind of highlight one here at 202 Southwest Shore, right here in Tampa Bay. This is just south of Kennedy on the east side of West Shore. Great opportunity. You got a lot in South Tampa. Beach Park, South Tampa neighborhood, 8,100 square foot lot. Build your dream home here, 202 South West Shore Boulevard, and you are close proximity to West Shore Plaza within walking distance. And of course, this is the Plant High School District, one of the most sought after areas in all of Tampa Bay, close to downtown Hyde Park, of course, as well. 202 Southwest Shore Boulevard in Tampa, and you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And it's time for our Feel Good segment of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so you got the bike ride from Tampa Bay to Nashville, supports the music industry. Founders of the music Ride of Music will cycle 1,411 miles to raise money for Road Cruise. So in 45 days, Kevin Lilly and Sylvester Duke Myers will bike 1,411 miles for the love of music. So the idea basically came about. What they're doing is kind of summarize this article. Is they're riding from Tampa Bay. They're starting in St. Petersburg. They're going to stop in Ybor City. And what they're doing is, if you think about the concert industry, whoever your favorite musician is, right? Just think about all the concerts that were shut down due to the COVID virus, Chinese virus, whatever you want to call it, right? So all these crews behind the scenes, you've got the managers, the roadies, the guitar techs, everybody associated, they have these long careers with these artists and shut down, no income coming in. A lot of other industries affected as well. But this is a great idea. They're going to bike and they're going to raise money. They're going to stop at local saloons, etc. on the way, restaurants. They've got different stops scheduled here: Jacksonville, Savannah, Charleston, Columbia, Charlotte, and Knoxville. And it's all for the love of music and to help give back. 100% of the profit's going to go back and be divided evenly amongst all the crew members. So that's a pretty cool story right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I love the final quote. It says, "The whole point of this trip was to turn that negative into a positive," said Myers and McCarthy. So, feel good story of the day, helping you win in any marketplace. And we got Fred DeFelice back in the house. Welcome in.
Oh, it's so great to be back.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, you got the only show on TV and radio that does what you do, and it's so important.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we're all out there. We don't know what's going on unless you listen in.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in. And it's all because of guys like you coming in and guys and gals associated with the show, being that consumer advocate.
Yep.
Everything we do is about helping the consumer, helping them understand their buying decisions, making them more street smart. So when it comes to water quality, lots of misnomers, lots of bad information, and people don't really know what they're drinking and what they're bathing in.
Yeah, it's bad. I just wanted to tell a little thing about, I know 4 families that all got COVID, every member of the family except one mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing they all had and they had like it was a common cold.
Yep.
That was as bad as they got.
Okay.
And the thing they all had in common is they all live a holistic lifestyle.
Yes.
They're eating right, they're doing everything, they're not on prescription drugs.
Yep.
They're fit, they're healthy, they exercise. And the other thing they have in common, they're drinking only our water.
Yes.
They don't buy bottled water.
Yes.
So, we're just so proud of having the opportunity to do what we do. And, I think most people realize that water coming into their tap isn't good.
Yeah.
The problem is they're not treating it properly.
Right.
For the last 50 years, all we ever knew was a water softener that used salt.
Right.
And a water softener doesn't purify the water. Has one purpose: remove the minerals that make scale.
Yeah.
That make the water hard.
Yep.
And that's not cutting it today.
Just such an old technology, right?
It's old.
Yeah, it's an old, outdated technology. It does nothing good for the quality. It doesn't protect the family. It doesn't protect your health.
Right.
It's just so the soap will lather up, basically.
Basically, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Fred, talk about your program then. Talk about your solution, waterscience.us. Less than $1 a day, I think it comes out to be.
Yeah, we can finance for less than $1 a day. We're family owned. We do all the manufacturing and assembly. We have a state-of-the-art facility right in Palm Harbor. I have 3 of my 5 sons in the business with me, so there's plenty of DeFelices going to be around, And we, over the years, it was a lot of research and development to get to what we have now. But basically, we've been using this technology, this type technology, for the last 12, 13 years.
Nice.
And so we have a great track record. We work on the tightest margin we can to make everything affordable. And for your listeners, we're always offering a $500 trade-in for their old water softener or free installation. And we're not like a company that just has the price so high that they could cover the installation no matter how bad it might be. We look at the job. We're master plumbers. We know exactly what it's going to take. So it's not a one-size-fits-all type deal.
Yeah. And so we're talking about a whole house system. This is going to mount on. It's going to basically take the water supply from the road, convert it, make it just fresh, great tasting water,
Right.
Coconut shell carbon technology.
Yeah.
Give me some more details on that.
Yeah. Here's a renewable source, right?
Yeah.
Most carbon filters are made from coal that you would burn in your stove years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So they found a way to take the coconut shell and make carbon from that.
Nice.
The interesting thing, it's the only carbon that will remove chloramine. And chloramine, most of our listeners know by now, is ammonia and chlorine mixed. A regular carbon filter will take out chlorine, but not the ammonia.
Wow.
So, and interestingly enough, you can boil water. The chlorine will vape out. The ammonia will not. So, you hear a boil water advisory when there's a water main break.
Yeah.
You're not helping your situation, whatever.
So you're still getting the
if you boil the water, you got other things happen.
Wow.
So fortunately, our systems take care of that.
Yeah.
Our customers don't ever worry about a boil water advisory.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're talking with Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. I know we tried on a couple nicknames for you. I don't know if what did we come up with? The Water Guru, was it?
That's one. That's a good one.
I like that one. The Water Guru, the
Healthy Water Advocate.
Healthy Water Advocate. That's a good one.
Yeah, in fact, I'm working on a book, and I think that'll be the title of the book.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. So, Healthy Water Advocate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My story, when we came here from Pennsylvania, the Pocono Mountains, 21 years ago, I was overweight. I was on prescription drugs, and my accountant told me, he says, you're going to have to live to 100 just to break even. So I figured I better get healthy.
Yeah.
And I did hook up with people in the holistic area.
Yes.
And we learned a lot, and that's when I learned the importance of water.
Yeah.
But you got to drink the right water.
Yes.
I'm sorry to tell your listeners, they're drinking bottled water, they're shooting themselves in the foot.
So many microplastics are probably in that water, right?
It is, yeah. And your body can't, some of it will pass through, but some of it's going to get stuck in your body.
Yeah.
And your body doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I pulled in a gas station the other day, and they have the convenience store, and there was tons of cases of bottles out in the sun.
Yeah, right out in front.
Yeah,
just
how smart is that?
Probably about 120 degrees at some point.
Yeah.
By the time it's amplified with the concrete and pushing down on it.
Yeah.
So you're going to have leakage. You've got leakage. Studies show that it's
Absolutely.
proven. So you're drinking that water. And then also what you're doing a lot of times is you're putting it into a cold. So from that heat, you're packing it with ice, so it's going from hot to cold. So there's probably some leakage there too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not good stuff, especially the plastics. Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us, he has a system that he can put on. It's a whole house system. And then also underneath the sink.
Under the sink, instead of having a reverse osmosis,
yes,
our system takes care of, treats the water for fluoride, pharmaceutical drugs, and it's been tested for over 200 contaminants.
Yeah.
So
pharmaceutical drugs, that's interesting too. I remember, one of our early interviews to find out that Viagra is the number one drug in the water.
Yeah, there was just an article came out recently about what some of them were. I probably won't be able to find it, but it's not good.
Yeah.
I think we're finding fish now that have 3 eyes and things like that too, right? So.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you look at some of those documentaries too, where you see where they find the fish that are dead, they cut them open, they got that plastic sitting in there. Of course, they're eating it, they're gobbling it up, but from a smaller scale, we're doing that to ourselves with these plastic bottles and things of that nature.
Well, the microplastic particles are in our water supply everywhere.
Yep.
And our system will take care of that.
So if somebody wants to reach out to you, you come in, you do a consultation, you actually test the water in their home.
Yeah, we test the water. Most times we talk to people on the phone. We can tell them we have upfront pricing.
Yep.
A few questions, we can tell them exactly what they need.
Yep.
And if they take a photo of their main water line, we can tell them what it will cost to install it.
Nice. And I know some of our friends have started working with you or used your product, or neighbors. People love it because when you really fully understand the decision you're making every day by just drinking the tap water or even going to the store, buying cases and cases, lugging that stuff around, the health it's a big part of it. Acidity. Talk about the acidity in some of these waters as well.
Yeah. Bottled water is mainly reverse osmosis water. Yeah. And that's very acidic. So you can do your research about acidity in your body. Now, your body will regulate the pH in different parts of your body.
Yep.
But it cannot raise the pH.
Yep.
So you got to feed your body good, healthy pH water, good alkaline water.
Yep.
And that's what our system does.
Yep. I remember I learned years ago from Tony Robbins, 2009. I did the Walking on Fire event. I walked on fire, the fire walk, and he did a whole section about nutrition and food and water, and just talked about how if you eat the right foods and you have that holistic perspective, then your body cannot generate. Cancer cannot survive in that type of an environment. But if you have the acidity in your bloodstream and your body's on the acidic side, that's where it survives. If you're drinking all the Coca-Colas and all the sports drinks that are loaded with sugars, you're setting yourself up for a sad ending to the story.
Yep. Yeah.
So we got about a half a minute left, Fred. Give us your final thoughts.
Well, I just wish any of your listeners would just contact me anytime. I'll be happy to talk to send them information to their email address. So you can. The best thing is the waterscience.us.
Yep.
Or fred@waterscience.us.
fred@waterscience.us. 813-750-0550. Call or text the hotline 813-750-0550. That's our hotline. Fred, always a pleasure seeing you, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we always end our show by saying we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another. Volunteer. Donate some time. We had Gulfside Healthcare Services on the program. You can volunteer for them. If kids are in school, they want to get those volunteer hours. Volunteer. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. You can check us out at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.